Hello, it's me, Phoenix, or Lewis, or whatever. I don't care. And I'm here with my friend.
Yo, Jordan, Umbriel, Umbra, whatever. I'm here too.
Okay, and today we're going to be talking about Nintendo stuff at E3 because we're Nintendo fanboys. That's what we like to talk about.
Of course.
So, for Nintendo, they're not doing a direct or a press conference or anything. Basically, they're just doing
that was
showing off a bunch of games and
on the live streams
in the Treehouse live streams. So, the very first thing they showed off was
Zelda.
the Zelda trailer.
Oh my god,
the Zelda trailer was amazing. It's like one of the best game trailers I've seen. I was just so shocked and surprised. I couldn't handle it.
I know.
I was almost brought to tears because of how great it looked.
No, honestly, I know like other game companies, like the Xbox console and the whatever, all those other companies.
4.
They had stuff for E3, and I kind of heard about it, not to really go into it. It might have been like or maybe people.
We didn't. I didn't check that out.
Well, we're Nintendo fanboys.
Exactly. I'm sure they showed off cool stuff.
Yeah,
but I don't have either of those consoles. So
no,
it doesn't affect me.
And from what I heard about it, there's different stuff with those consoles, and maybe it wasn't super exciting or whatever. But honestly, this game release, just the footage they showed, that was a very strong start.
And they haven't showed much footage, but I was floored by how great it was.
No, yeah, and right off the bat, you could tell the graphics were amazing. Whether or not it's in development or if they're still working on whatever. Honestly, the graphics are amazing, and the concept art they've shown for it thus far.
The concept art and the in-game art. Art style also, it just looks, I don't know, it has a great feeling. I'm just excited to play
really
this.
Feeling it?
Yeah. Sure. I have a feeling this is going to be like my Skyrim, if that makes any sense.
No, a lot of people were talking about how it's like Skyrim or Shadow of Colossus.
Skyrim. Yeah, it definitely has a great vibe. It doesn't, I don't know how to explain it. It has a great feeling when you're watching it being played. It just has a great.
Well, yeah.
The environments are expansive. It looks great. You just feel like you're gonna go on an adventure. You feel like it's, feel like it's just here, you're thrust into this world, you don't have any information.
Well, before we get into specifics, why don't we just talk about first, the idea of it. So, the game developers, they let us know, everybody, that this game was going to be very expansive. Supposedly, the overworld is going to take all of the capacity the Wii U can handle, so that's one really big thing.
And basically what they wanted to do was, break down Zelda's conventions and change it up. So
yeah,
everything is different. Well, not everything.
Well, not everything.
But,
no.
It still feels like a Zelda game, and it still is a Zelda game. But it feels like they're doing something new, and that feels great.
There's a lot of, like you said, wide open environments. They mentioned how obviously they're changing up how dungeons are. So instead of you going from one dungeon to another,
I'm not sure, but I think it's open world in terms of dungeons.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So, you can go to one dungeon and, so this is with items. They said, instead of, usually in Zelda games, the formula is, you get, a special item, the grapple hook.
You get, and it's in a specific
order
that you get the items. But now, instead of getting items in other places, there's shrines, and there's basically mini dungeons. There's a little puzzle in the shrine, and you get an item, you complete the puzzle, and then that's it. You go back to the surface with your item. It's great. And there's over 100 of those.
Oh, yeah.
Over 100 shrines, which is absolutely insane.
Well, it's supposed to be a big game. That's the thing. They also one of the other big things is that supposedly And I mean, getting into the whole Zelda timeline thing with young Link and old Link, yeah, that's all convoluted.
That's confusing, and we're not going to talk about it.
But so supposedly this is supposed to be a combination of all of those things, and I mean all of the like different plots and storylines.
Well, I think they by a combination they meant more like
the actual.
They're
gameplay.
just like they're combining all the best parts of the game.
True.
It really does feel like that. It kind of feels like a return to form from the original Zelda because you're thrust into this world with no information. In fact, you're.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
You just get thrown into the world. Nobody tells you anything, and you're just free to explore.
Well, specifically, I mean, so in the trailer they showed when they first started showing the game footage. I mean, Link wakes up with like no shirt on, just like a loincloth, and he's in a watery I don't know, like Metroid sort of sack thing, you know? And then he gets up and he's in this little...
And it's called the Temple of Resurrection, I think.
So that's another...
The Shrine of Resurrection?
I'm sure that's another thing that plays into the whole,
Link is dead!
I have no idea anymore, honestly.
Maybe. Who cares?
But, so then,
honestly, it just looks amazing.
No,
everything... It looks like it's shaping out to be, like, one of the best games on the Wii U. The best game, probably. And a great way to kick off the launch of the NX. So
yeah. So I mean, so before you were saying how they're changing up a lot of how this Zelda game's gonna be. So, for example, I mean, how you were saying a bunch of times that you're thrust into this world. So you wake up in this temple. And it's very dark, and I mean I know we were watching this, and I thought it was kind of like you mentioned, what was it, the Disney movie Atlantis, it was kind of like,
oh yeah, the there's a lot of technology, and it has a very just the vibe is very Atlantis-y in terms of the technology, how it feels kind of ancient but also a little bit like it feels ancient but also technologically advanced. It feels like also you have
iPhone.
Well, it's more of a gamepad, but you have this magic technology, whatever pad, and it when you touch it to things, it activates stuff, and that feels a little bit Atlantis-y. It really feels like this game is taking a lot from other games and making it into something great. It feels like it has kind of a Skyrim feeling, has kind of a Shadow of the Colossus feeling, because there's a lot of climbing going on, and Link's movements just are very reminiscent of the character from that game.
Yeah, that's another thing too. So one of the new mechanics too that people noticed was that Link can jump and climb stuff, and
there's a lot of climbing. Basically, anywhere you want to get, you can just climb up.
Well, I don't think everything.
Well,
but,
it depends. You also have a stamina gauge, so you can't necessarily climb up everything.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't even notice.
The stamina gauge, the little green thing.
Oh, okay.
The little green circle.
Yeah, I saw that.
But it doesn't seem like as limiting as the one in Skyward Sword, because you can still your normal speed is basically like jogging or running, and you can sprint if you want to use up your stamina gauge. Another really cool thing is there's clothes and weapons you can pick up and equip, random weapons. At the beginning of the game, Link is not he's just basically wearing underwear,
basically naked.
Basically. So in the first two chests, there are there's a basic shirt or a basic tunic and some pants. And it looks like there's gonna be a bunch of clothing items, and basically there's just a lot of pickups and collectibles. Anytime you defeat an enemy who has a weapon, you can pick that weapon up, and also there's not just a couple of swords. Weapons also have durability, so that's a thing. Also, yeah, so you can pick up an axe off a Macablin once you defeat it, or you can pick up a sword out of a chest. And there's not just a set number of in past games you would get a child bow, and that would be your bow for most of the game, and then you'd get an adult bow, and then you'd have that bow, which would be bigger and stronger. But here there are like a bunch of different bows. Like I don't know how many. They only showed off like 3 or 4. But even 3 or 4 is like a lot more.
Yeah.
And they all have different properties. There are a bunch of different kinds of swords. There are different shields, different other weapons. There's clubs and axes you can get. You can do things with axes like there's a lot of environment interaction.
Kind of like a certain roleplay game. What is it? Animal Crossing?
No, that's not a role-playing game either.
Well, okay, not roleplay, but I'm in the trailer they show Link chopping down wood.
Okay, Jordan thinks it's an animal, just like an Animal Crossing game.
Look,
it's really not.
I'm just saying that with an axe in hand, Link kind of resembles villager.
Okay, no.
Whatever.
Okay, but yeah. Anyway, you can like push a boulder, like giant boulders, down hills and cliffs. You can cut down trees. You can blow up barrels. You can basically set almost anything on fire.
That's gonna be great.
There's like an insane amount of things you can do. Also, I think there's hunting in this game, so you can like
get food,
murder random animals and get food.
Ouch.
There's cooking. You can cook the food you get. Like even climbing up a tree, you can grab some food. Just like there's just an insane amount of stuff to do in this game. It's clearly not like just a basic, like even it has way more to do than just your basic Zelda game. Also, you can like surf down a mountain on your shield.
Oh, that was cool.
That was so cool.
Honestly, amazing. I feel like all of these different components, the weapons, the clothing, especially with the weapons, the fact that it's not like these certain special items, but like you just kind of pick them up.
Just random things that you get from anywhere.
And then the environment interactions, I feel like that's kind of shaping up to make this game, and the fact that it's so large, it's less of the old Zelda games, or just any of the other Zelda games where it's like you are a hero because you have a special item and you're the prophesized
collecting random
right, and then you go from one dungeon to the next, and then you save the princess.
Point A to point B, it's all the same formula, and this feels.
This is a real. It seems like it's a real adventure. You wake up. You wake up. You literally have no idea. And in the trailer, all they do, they wake up, they get out, they just start getting clothing, weapons, and they just start exploring whatever they can. And then one thing they mentioned, which is especially interesting, is that it's not going to be a character or I don't think story heavy, but just like character heavy.
What they said was they weren't showing off characters and stories today for this part of the direct.
I feel like
I think the story will be there, but I definitely think it's going to take. Well, I don't know, but from what I've seen and how insane,
expensive.
I can't even talk because I'm so how much there is to do. It feels like there might not be a ton of story, and honestly, that's okay because Zelda, an awesome story would be great. It would be great. I would love that with a great story. But
the gameplay would compensate.
But the gameplay looks amazing, so I'm fine if there's not a great story.
They're definitely doing a great job with Hope breaking away.
But I think they've already hinted at some stuff, like some story stuff. So I'm not going to throw away my story.
That old man.
Okay, yeah, there's an old man in there. And
he looks like the King of Red Lions.
He looks kind of like the King of Red Lions. I'm not sure about it, but whatever.
All right. Yeah, no, there's no point getting to that because I don't know. Anyways, I think
also there in the trailer you see a giant bony monster walking through a mountain. I just thought that was cool.
They have a lot.
It was like a giant monster, half the size of the mountain.
So there's, obviously your regular Zelda, enemies, what's the goblin thing again? I don't even
Macablins.
The Macablins, right? And that's a very iconic Zelda enemy.
They have those monsters. Also, the Guardian that they showed off in, the first teaser trailer, I think. Which is the giant, spidery monster
Metroid thing?
out exactly. It's like a spidery thing.
They have an amiibo for it.
Oh yeah. Well,
but so basically what it seems like is that they're also integrating a lot of new enemies, but not just that, but like the fact that this is a very like to scale game, like to scale to an actual world.
It feels like you're walking through a world. There are random animals.
And
there are
enemies.
There are people in it. There are enemies. There like that are doing things like there's enemies just like camping, cooking food, doing stuff like that.
I'm
sitting
sure.
around a campfire. You can, I don't know. It looks amazing. Also, the combat, it looks interesting. There you can go into
bullet time.
Basically.
Oh, that
like there's
Bayonetta.
a slowdown and then you mash.
Just saying.
I don't know. I just hope it all meshes together well, and from what I've seen,
it will. I think
it looks like it will.
Yeah, basically. I think the last thing.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say the last thing to touch on is the amiibo, which you mentioned. So
the amiibo look awesome.
There's the amiibo for what is it? Or not Zelda?
There's Link on a horse,
and
the Guardian.
The Guardian. Okay, yeah.
And also, I'm pretty sure that the Wolf Link amiibo is compatible, and Wolf Link shows up and wrecks stuff up. I haven't seen the footage,
From
but
Twilight?
I assume that.
That's pretty cool, honestly.
And I'm not sure if the Smash Bros. Link amiibo will be compatible or not.
No.
But I don't know. It could be. I have no idea.
So to sum this up, this game just looks amazing.
It looks like mind-blowingly amazing. I don't even I want it so bad. I can't wait. And
Nintendo,
it's gonna be like 6 months, but I'm excited.
Give us the game.
I'm very excited.
You can have all our money, basically.
All
right. So the second thing is Pokemon Sun and Moon. Oh my goodness.
This game is shaping up to be pretty good.
It is. So, one of the first things that we see is that, what the first thing to know is that the game footage that they show takes place after you get the starter. It actually, I think it was, I can't remember where exactly it was, but it was right after you, when you get to the one town, because I think, there's some, people who've done videos on this about, placing of the islands, and within the islands there's, one area where you get the starters, and then there's some, whatever areas, paths, routes, and there's other towns, and there's one town with, all of the, it's kind of the main hub, your hometown. So they have, Professor Kukui, I don't know how you say his name. Kukui, whatever. There's Hala, which isn't the professor, which we learned. The professor's assistant, which her name is, Lily. And then, the other trainer, I cannot remember. How?
H-A-U.
Whatever. How. Okay. Right. So, you go there, and they started battling, and so some of the things that we found, or that we saw, first of all, I just like to point the fact out that graphics are amazing.
Oh, yeah. All the characters look, kind of, more,
realistic.
People. I wouldn't say realistic. It's clearly still very stylized.
But it's more to scale.
It's, they feel like people instead of little squished down.
Yeah.
Somebody got squished on the hydraulic press channel.
Well, I mean, that. And honestly, a lot of people, just before the game came out, because people knew, this is going to happen.
Came out, yeah.
When it was first announced and they showed images of the characters, some people were like, this is awesome. They're kind of continuing down the path that X and Y and Oras led, or created with, they made more realistic characters, except, in X and Y and Oras, the people looked more chibi, we're not gonna lie.
Well...
Kind of. It's like...
it's still a stylized game, and
I think it's always going to be.
But I think I don't know. It looks a lot more like it's not exactly realistic, but just more like it could exist.
Right. So
you can a more believable thing.
Yeah.
Because the people look like they're actual people, and their limbs wouldn't fall off when they walk.
Yeah. So some people disagreed with it because I think it was just mainly they didn't like how. X and Y and Oras looked, apparently. I think some people really didn't like the characters. I didn't really get.
I can still... I can understand that changing, but it's clearly been going along on this path for a while.
No, it's gonna... yeah.
Even since, Black and White, because, in black and white, the people, like, it was still sprites, but you could definitely tell that the people were elongated.
Yeah, so there's that. I think, like, they were walking through grass and through some of the routes that we've already seen in trailers, and the graphics, well, the layout just looks amazing, honestly.
Yeah, and even just the grass looks
The
great.
grass.
Like, just the environment looks
grass.
great. It just looks great.
Nah, yeah, I mean, if there's one thing I had to complain about in this, I mean, I think I mentioned, like, the background seemed kind of flat, maybe, but that just might be something that they would fix in development.
I'm not sure. It feels like that's not the final background.
No,
and if it is, like...
Well, if you didn't know, it's like a sunset with a, basic kind of...
We'll show it on screen.
Yeah, an orange to purple gradient or something like that, right? And
I think it's just orange.
Well,
I think the background
there,
was
that like sunset tinge. But anyways, so yeah, they had that. Maybe it was a little flat, but honestly, there's some background you could see with like far off, distant islands, and I think once you put it with water and stuff, then it kind of makes makes it look more lively.
I don't
lifelike.
Honestly, that did not look like the final background.
Well, that's a little minor complaint, but anyways,
yeah, and again, that's like a very small.
So then I think they went to the grass and then they battled. So the first thing that we saw,
the first thing we saw was a Ladybug.
Ladybug. No, the second thing we saw was a new Pokemon, which was Yungoos. The young Mangoose Pokemon. I really don't know.
That's not what it was called.
I know, but it's
Mangoose.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's a young mongoose.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I mean, I think it's kind of funny. I think in the actual when they were talking about it, some of the people were just saying, or some of the developers who were working on the game were like, we don't only want to make the Pokemon cute, we want to make their movements cute. Like, that was a literal quote. Like, I just kind of find that funny. And, this Mangoose Pokemon that had a cheeky grin.
All the Pokemon I think they look great. I like them a lot. With the exception of the last one they showed off, which was just kind of fine. Yungoos I love. I think he's super cute. I'm definitely going to have him on my team at least for a while.
The one concern I had with the designs of the new Pokemon was that the last few Pokemon they showed, there was the sweeping koala Pokemon. I can't remember its name. It was like something koala, and then...
Oh yeah, that was unofficial Coro leaks.
Well, it was revealed, and there's that, and then there was the dog Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And I was afraid at first that these were going to be very basic designs, and then we learned that
I think all of these seem very animalistic. It reminds me a lot of...
Yeah, that's true.
It reminds me a lot of Jin 2, I guess.
That's true. There were
they feel like they could actually happen. Like, I don't know. It feels like Hoot, which was basically just an owl.
Okay.
And I feel like these are just basically animals, which I'm fine with.
No, they're alright, because the design is actually pretty decent.
And they're definitely not over-designed, which is a problem that Pokemon has had before.
Yeah.
I think I like them. Anyway, we should talk about the other ones, too.
Oh, so yeah, before we get to the other revealed Pokemon, the next thing we saw, if you looked at the bottom screen, they've changed the layout of the buttons, and personally, I thought it was a neat change. I mean, it's much more overlaid. It's like they have the bag and the items on the left side, the battle button on the right side, and then it was kind of funny. On the bottom screen, you saw the two faded kind of images of Pokemon. There's I think icons above them. I don't know what that was, but it's just kind of a little snapshot, which is interesting. I don't know, but
I think the new battle screen is fine. I don't have a problem with it.
No, not at all.
It's just I don't think it's a huge improvement either.
Well, I just
think it's a different thing.
No, it's interesting because another thing is that they changed how you view info. So when you go to on the right, when you press the battle button and then you choose your moves, there's a little question mark next to all of them, and then on the bottom of the screen, so everything will fade black, and then with the exception of the move, and then it'll show, the battle power, the type of move it is, special, physical, whatever, and then
it tells you about
effect.
The move. It's just helpful.
So, I hated in in all the Pokemon games, because they've never changed it up until now, when you had to go into your menu, you had to choose a Pokemon, then you had to scroll through all these different menus. You just have to go into your battle, say, okay, wait, what's this move? You know, just remind me.
Forget what it does. Yeah.
Right. So, and that's really nice. And honestly, the fact that, like, the one thing I don't like is that maybe it just kind of, like, overlays with a bunch of stuff, and there's kind of a blank space in the middle, which is filled by the still screenshot of Pokemon, on a field. But, like, honestly, I think it's a fine change because they did a good job with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, let me think. Oh, there's also, you could click, up in the middle of the screen with the icons of the Pokemon. This is more specific.
Oh yeah, you could click on the...
There's a little button above it, above the Pokemon. It was like Yangoose. And then there's, it took you to an orange...
not Yangoose.
Yangoose. Yangoose. I think of Mangoose. And then it'll show 6 bars, blank bars, but then above it had all the stats: attack, defense, special, etc. And we didn't know what that was about. I think a lot of people thought that was for showing stat ups, like when you use a stat changing move like sword stance or agility. Except it was kind of weird. They were very long bars. They took up the entire screen.
Yeah, it was kind of confusing. I wasn't really sure what's going on. The only thing I can think of is maybe for every 10, maybe one of those fills up.
Well, you know what else that might have been? Well, there was also, they had the ability, the item, so I think that might have been, from the Dex Nav and the Pokenav from Oraz, there's a whole thing with when you're looking for Pokemon in the overworld, you can find, like, when there's a Pokemon swimming in the grass, you can see its information and then catch it. This may or may not be the same thing, but in battle, which can be... I don't know if I want to say it's like a huge thing. In actual competitive battle, I mean, like, for example, Pokemon Showdown, you can hover over Pokemon and it'll show info. So that might be something that competitive players could use when they're battling, and that's something kind of that's another conversation, to be honest, but I think it's a neat thing. We'll have to see what exactly it does anyways. These are all really small changes, but they're significant.
The other new Pokemon were Pick-a-Peck, which was basically just like a baby woodpecker.
Yeah, and actually that was
I'm excited to see the evolved form, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they could I feel like they could do some cool stuff with it.
Yeah, I think that was the wireframe Pokemon that was first shown in the original, like when they announced Pokemon Sun and Moon, there's that wireframe Pokemon they were working on, and that's that. And yeah, like you said, it looks interesting.
It looks cool. There's nothing. I don't really have much to say about it.
It looks like a tiny Staraptor. Not gonna lie.
I don't think it does. Jordan thinks it does.
No,
everybody.
There are memes.
Well, I mean, yeah, but who cares? Like, I feel like it just has like slightly similar coloration. But to me, it looks like a baby woodpecker, which is what it's supposed to be.
Oh, yeah, woodpecker Pokemon. So then, actually during the stream, so apparently...
and that Pick-a-Peck is normal flying.
Right, so during...
I'm not sure if we said, but Yangoose is normal.
Yeah.
Maybe we did, I don't know.
So those are like the basic Pokemon. So then, apparently during the stream, the Pokemon Sun and Moon website was updated with two pieces of information. They revealed another Pokemon, the third, Grubbin, which is... let me look this up real quick, but... Basically, it's a bug Pokemon, and...
honestly, I don't really care for Grubbin. It's just... I feel like
there's not much to really care about it for.
I feel like Grubbin's just like... I feel like I've seen it 1,000 times before. It's just like the most generic thing I've ever seen.
I mean, I guess I agree. Its design is a little generic. The design itself is actually decent. And
it looks like somebody put Sheldon and... what's that one called? No, it's the one...
Pinsir?
No, it's the one that's like folding his arms and has a scarf.
Oh, that's Shelgor.
No, the other
Shelgor.
one.
Excelgor.
That one. So it feels like somebody put
Excelgor's face into the body of Shelmet. I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's a very generic Pokemon.
It's underwhelming. It's certainly underwhelming.
Now, the one piece of information that's interesting is in its description for the I was going to say Pokedex. So it says, Grubbin relies on its sturdy jaw as a weapon in battle and as a tool for burrowing through the earth. Now here's what's interesting. Grubbin loves electricity, which is why it can be found near power plants and substations. So I think that means, and I mentioned this, I think basically...
Either it's going to be...
Bug electric?
Its evolution is going to be bug electric, or its evolution is going to have some ability like...
Lightning Rod? I don't know.
Lightning Rod. Yeah.
I just want to say Galvantula.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's just not really concerning, but I don't know. It's just kind of weird, but we'll just have to see what happens.
So that's about. Oh, and also there's Magierna. I think that's been officially shown off before. Maybe.
No. It has. So
it has.
Kuro leaked it, and so today, so they showed in the trailer that. Well, not in the trailer, but on the Pokemon website. So we've revealed, they have revealed its ability and its special move. So let me just pull this up real quick. I believe it's called Soul Heart, which I don't even know what that is.
The ability?
No, not the ability.
The
just that name. That name is weird.
The special move is Soul Heart?
Yeah. No. The special move, we'll get to that. But, let me see. So... Yeah, its ability is Soul Heart. No, wait, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm mixing this up now. Anyway,
it's a Steel Fairy type.
Steel Fairy, and it has Soul Heart.
It's kind of weird look. It looks like a gear. It looks like
Have you seen this before?
I think I've briefly seen it.
Anyway, so
it looks like somebody threw a clock, it broke a clock up, and then made a doll out of it.
Well, there's stuff about it being something related to Deontay, because it literally looks like a mechanized Deontay.
It literally does.
Well, yeah, so anyways, that's not the point. So Soul Heart, what it does... And this scares me. It's a modified Moxie, right? Moxie, when your Pokemon
knocks out an opponent's Pokemon,
it increases attack by 1. It's like that, but it's with special attacks. So it's like competitive.
And it's with any Pokemon that gets knocked out.
Knocked out, not dies. Excuse me.
Like any Pokemon that gets knocked out.
Right.
You don't have to knock it out. Anybody can knock it out, and you get the boost.
Or no, so that could be like... so, you can knock out the opponent, you get +1.
If you have a move that's like,
toxic, or...
Well, not toxic. Like Boom Burst, or something.
Like a strong move that attacks both Pokemon?
A strong move that attacks all the Pokemon, then you could immediately, just get a gigantic boost.
Well, anyways, what that says, basically, is competitive play, I feel like it's gonna wreck something, because... I'm sorry, that is scary.
I feel like
VGC is gonna see something.
I feel like it could just clear the field in 3 moves.
No, in VGC there's the whole mind tricks with what to attack and stuff. If you swap protect, maybe you have. Well, I don't know if you're gonna necessarily build your strategy around this. You might with a core or something. But
of course you're gonna build your strategy around this. This is amazing.
Yeah. So whatever. Honestly, it's just kind of an amazing ability.
It's shocking.
Yeah. Oh, so maybe we'll talk about. There's some new abilities we saw with other Pokemon, but before we get into that, its attack is called Fleur. What is it? Fleur Beam. Fleur Beam.
Fleur Beam.
Yeah, Flower Beam.
Fleur.
Fleur. It's the French spelling. Fleur. It seems a bit.
Okay.
It was a generic kind of pink blast.
Generic fairy type blast move.
Yeah, we don't really know what it does.
Laser fairy move, basically.
Here, wait a moment. Fleur.
I bet
blast.
I don't think they have stats on it yet or anything.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they showed.
But anyway,
any stats.
Also the other legendaries for the.
You mean the legendaries? Oh, right. So legendaries for Pokemon
the Sun and Moon legendaries.
They supposedly have different forms. I think they said on the Pokemon website there's a Radiant Sun form for Solgaleo, and then there's the Full Moon form for Lunala.
It looks cool. It'll be on the screen right now. Cool.
We'll show that. No idea what it does. Nobody has announced what it does. All we know is that they have different forms. Honestly, I found this really weird. It's kind of an expected thing because, it's like the sun and the moon, and there's different forms of the sun and the moon. First of all, there's still Mega Evolution, right? There's Mega Evolution. Then there's a whole bracelet thing. We're not gonna go again into that.
I suppose it will probably be in this game.
Well, duh, they kind of have to. No, so they're keeping it. It has to be kept. We have no idea.
Just ignore it.
No, we have no idea if they're gonna add more Mega Evolutions. Obviously there's. We're not going to go into that.
Of course there's going to be more Mega Evolutions.
But, because there's some Pokemon that people feel need to Flygon.
Whatever.
Right? So here's the weird thing. We have Mega Evolution. That's just kind of on the, wayside because it's already here. So then there's the whole thing with Burst Evolution / what is it? I don't know.
You.
Human transformation into Pokemon.
No.
So yeah, no, we don't know what's up with that. I
really hate that.
Right. So
that's something. I know some people didn't like Mega Evolution, but that's something I really hate.
I'm kind of on the edge of it with 2, but anyways, there's the bracelet we saw in the trailers for Pokemon Sun and Moon with the characters, and they actually, people from Nintendo of America raised that point and asked if, they'd say anything on that, and they made no comment, don't want to really...
Well,
yeah,
don't want to give anything away, whatever.
No, but, so there's that, Burst Evolution, and then there are these forms, so we don't know if... It kind of almost seems like, though, these might be evolution forms, but I have no idea. Maybe, actually, they're just... Now that I think about it, they're probably just, different formes, I like to call them, with the E,
Okay, and then Anyway,
I think
we've talked about everything enough. There's one more thing that we need to talk about.
Oh, Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. It's a new battle system. There are basically four different competitors. When one person is all their mons are completely knocked out, that's the end of the battle.
You mean one person knocks out all of the other Pokemon?
No. When one person's Pokemon are all knocked out.
Oh, is it? Okay, so what I'm thinking...
When one person's one person loses, then all the points are tallied up.
Points are of, what Pokemon have... how many Pokemon one Pokemon from a trainer has defeated?
Yeah, okay. Points out on how many Pokemon you have left and how many Pokemon you've defeated.
Okay. Bless you.
Sorry. And then a winner is chosen. So... that's about it.
Honestly, that's really exciting.
It looks cool.
It's basically...
I don't know. It probably is going to be super unbalanced and not viably competitive, but it looks cool.
In FFAs, I know a lot of Poketubers...
Free-for-alls for those uninformed.
Oh, right. This is basically an official FFA mode, and so, I'm expecting Poketubers to jump on this, because, people like Shady Penguin, Game Boy Luke, Shofu even, whatever. All those Poketubers...
Other Gengar man.
Gengar. King Nappy, bro. Anyways, honestly, I expect that they jump on that just because, a lot of those YouTubers have done FFAs and they have series and stuff. Honestly, it's just awesome that, I think that a lot of people kind of wanted that. We finally got it.
I think it's just a fun thing that they're including. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. I just think it's a great addition.
It's a great addition.
It's just a fun addition. It's not going to make a big change, but it's there, so...
Hey, I just got to say one move. Ally swap. Literally,
you can't
GG.
do ally swap.
You can't?
No, because nobody's your ally.
No, but... Well, no, isn't it treated as a double battle? No, not in that mode. See, you could do ally swap in, past games when people did, double battles.
In the terms... What are you talking about?
Whatever, I don't know.
Whatever.
If ally swap's the thing.
That's about it in the thingy.
In the thingy, Pokemon Sun and Moon. So now there's a few other small things we want to mention, so let's see. First there's, Super Mario Bros. Amiibo. Apparently.
It's awesome. There's Waluigi's there. I love Waluigi. Boo's there.
Basically it.
I'll probably pick Boo up.
I think there's Rosalina and Luma and
Rosalina, Luma...
Donkey Kong.
No, it's just Rosalina, no Luma.
Oh, Rosalina.
Peach, Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong...
Toad?
And Toads already has an amiibo.
Oh.
And, I think the new amiibo is Daisy, maybe? I don't remember.
I think there is.
I don't remember. Anyway, the last one is Wario. So, basically all the miscellaneous, random other...
Mario characters
have amiibo now.
That's interesting. I don't know.
It's fun. Get it if you want it.
Waluigi,
if not, who cares? It's fine. I'll get a Waluigi one. Maybe a Diddy Kong one, and maybe a Boo one.
Right, so then, let's see. There's two more things that nobody really...
Paper Mario, who cares?
Okay,
get away, shoot it.
I don't want to bash it. You know
what? Well...
Before we get into that whole
I just don't think it looks fun. It's not a game I'll be buying at all.
You're gonna make enemies, man.
Enemies out of who?
No. The sticker stars.
Okay, anyway, that's not a game that interests me at all.
Well, okay. Hey, we're here to give news to...
Whatever.
So its release date is October 8th for any of you guys who...
October 7th.
Oh, 7th. Whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they also... So apparently they also announced Mario Party Star whatever. That's what I have written down.
Mario Party Star something or
Rush.
other.
Star Rush.
Mario Party Star Rush. It's a 3DS Mario Party game. Usually those aren't very good.
Aww.
I'm being honest.
No, it's true.
It could be amazing. Mario Party series in my opinion, hasn't been good for a couple years. But who knows? This could turn it around.
Possibly, but honestly, it's kind of a minor release on the 3DS, so, maybe it's alright, but I don't know.
And the last thing we have to say is that Nintendo of Europe said there would be something about Mario Kart stuff, and that hasn't come out yet. It might come out. It might come out tomorrow. We'll see.
Well, I mean, I feel bad. This is just kind of a general statement. I feel like Mario Kart, it just kind of, the hype died for that, you know?
Well, I feel like the Mario Kart is kind of a game that, like, the hype doesn't need to be there, because it's just like, when you invite some people over and you're like, hey, what do you want to play? It's like Smash Bros. Nah, some people don't want to play that.
They're like, oh, Mario Kart, right?
Like, some other games people might not want to play. Mario Kart, everyone can play Mario Kart. Everybody likes Mario Kart.
No, I feel like, because like Mario Kart's one of those kind of staple series, and
I feel like Mario Kart's just like a game that's just like,
it's there.
It's there. You'll play it occasionally. It's not something you're gonna play every day.
Like the Wii version, I think a lot of people loved, and then when it came to like Mario Party 7 and 8, it's just kind of like So,
Mario Party.
Wait, Mario Kart. Mario Party Wii. Mario Kart Wii. So basically, I think with the DLC, I don't think we know what it is.
We don't even know that it will be DLC. It could be Amiibo.
Oh, that's true.
It could be anything.
I think it was a tweet from Nintendo Europe, and they said
like
good things come to those who wait, and then they said # Mario Kart DLCs. Or no, wait, I don't know.
Mario Kart E3, maybe.
Something like
I'm not sure. Mario Kart news might come out tomorrow. That's it, and I think that's all we have to talk about. This was fun.
One more thing, actually. Sorry, can I just bring this up?
Yeah.
So, I just want to mention, I think... Oh, okay. Pokemon Go was supposedly supposed to... Well, there's supposed to be information on it. Now, obviously, I know, honestly, that game kind of died the day we found out more
died. Like...
So, I think that, basically, the overview on Pokemon Go is that, like, people got super hyped up. I think a lot of people realized at first, like, guys, it's an iPhone app. I don't think it's going to be that great. There can't be, like, there's limits to what Nintendo can do, and it's kind of testing the waters of iOS games and just apps in general. And then, we, got super hyped up, but, other people were like, whatever, it's going to be great. And then we learned new information.
Yeah,
and it transformed into something different.
It doesn't look... I'll pick it up. It's free. It's going to be free. I'll try it out.
Of course.
If it's great, great. If it's not... I didn't pay anything for it.
Miitomo.
So.
Hate to say it.
Well, Miitomo's fun. I occasionally check it. It's just not. It's not like a meaty thing.
The thing is, I feel like that's a Pokemon. Pokemon Go was kind of expected by fans to be this great new innovative thing.
I think,
and it's not.
I think Pokemon Go is just going to be something that's. Well, we don't know. So I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm going to pick it up since it's free.
Right. I don't think they've said anything on it as of us making this video, so if they do, we'll check in on that. I don't know.
We might put an annotation here and think, hey, they put something in.
Yeah, but I think, as they learned, they got feedback from people. I think that they were changing things up with, mid-development. I think, the battle system is much more watered down.
Anyway, at this point, we're not talking about E3 stuff anymore. My overall opinion on all the E3 stuff.
Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Zelda looks amazing. It looks phenomenal. I cannot wait to play it. That's gonna be all I play for 10 years.
Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Pokemon Sun and Moon looks great. I'm also very excited for that. That's gonna be awesome.
And then all the other stuff's
with
like
all my friends.
Cool.
Mario Amiibo.
Cool.
Fine. I'll probably get a couple.
Who cares about Paper Mario?
Paper Mario, the series has been going downhill for a couple years.
Oh man.
I'm just gonna say it.
Nail in the coffin.
I'm not super hyped about it. So if you want to get it, fine. I'm not going to. Mario Party.
Starburst.
Mario
Burst. Whatever.
Mario Party Starburst. Whatever. It's a Mario Party on 3DS.
Basically. I think that's about it. Mario Kart DLC is still
that might be tomorrow, so whatever. Anyway.
It is time to wrap this up.
Yes, we've been talking for 45 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
This is long.
So
this is me signing off.
And this is fun. Me, Jordan, signing off too.
Give it a like, give it a subscribe. Check out my second channel.
Big yellow
called
button.
These Nerds.
See you guys later.
Goodbye.